Okay, so I want to do a quick video on the Ameriglo Pros. These are what the sights look like here. You have a tritium vial in the rear, and you have a tritium vial in the front. And basically, they have an outline here on that tritium vial. And what that's going to do is just give you a really quick acquisition on the front post there. See if I can get it to focus. There we go. And they've machined that out there and then painted it with a nice high quality bright paint in there. What I've been doing is trying to find a sight to replace my excess big dots, and the reason I wanted to do that was I wanted a sight that would be a little more precise, and I also wanted a sight that I could rack off of your belt or something like that, and this one really does provide a nice ledge for that. I've seen two different models of this. There's one model that you can get where there's a lip that comes forward right about where that sight breakover is, that line is right there, and it comes forward and there's a lip, so there's like a step. I don't like that because it's giving you less area to rack off of. This particular one I found has the wall. So if you're looking for these, there's two different ones. So just kind of look closely at what you're buying. If you want these with the nice wall there, then they're a little different. They don't really have a different name or anything, so just got to make sure that if the picture shows these ones, ask the seller that if that's what they're selling or if they're selling the other one. So let's talk about the sight picture. Basically, you have a traditional notch and post type design. You have a tritium vial in the rear, and you can kind of actually see how that tritium vial in the rear almost matches in size the front circle. So it's kind of easy to line up, gives you that kind of a figure 8 there, and it's real easy to do because the size is the same. So when you want to get that centered in that notch, because you got a pretty wide notch in it for faster acquisition, but what it's going to do is help you to locate the center better. And as you know, the center is more important than the up and down or the horizontal, because if you miss horizontally, you can miss a human target, all the way completely. If you miss up and down, if you're aiming center mass, well, you might hit in the head or you might hit in the stomach. I mean, you're still lined up. So that really helps keep that center line by having that tritium dot there. So rather than having a 3-dot system like Trijicon HDs that I tested out, I like this one a lot better. The Trijicon HDs also, the rear blade on the HDs would actually swing out and came out further on the back, where on this one here it stops a little short, and it does swing out a little bit towards you, but not much. So I like this one better. It's not as painful carrying it appendix carry, and that's how I do in the incog holster. So I went to these for a couple of reasons. Wanted a more precise sight picture. The XS Big Dot, basically, it's a really large front sight, and if we compare it to this sight here, you can see that it's about twice the size. So your precision is going to go down a little bit. But I did like the comfort of it because it had a little U shape in the back here, where basically this is your rear sight. Not as good for racking off of your belt or anything, but it is nice for comfort because there's no sharp edges on that, and when you're wearing an appendix carry, it doesn't hurt at all. So when I got these sights, I figured that I would line the sight picture up and then you would split the target with that front sight. But I found out that you actually put the target behind that front sight, just like the big dots. That's kind of a disappointment for me because I actually, if I wanted big dots, I just use big dots. But so these are kind of working like big dots. They are accurate, they are pretty quick, but I do find the rear notch to be a little bit slower because that notch, you have to peer through that notch to see your front sight. And what happens is I find that my rear eyes want to focus a lot on that rear notch, and even though the front sight's so bright that sometimes it makes it so that my sight is not as quickly acquired as with the big dots, where there's really nothing obscuring that front sight. You just have that dot and it just sits right in the middle of that notch there. So it's really nice and a quick sight picture. So where I've kind of gone with this is I do like these sights. I think they're good. I've been accurate with them and quick with them. The smaller dot on the front helps with the faster precision slightly, but not a whole lot. So I don't really feel that these are a lot better than the XS Big Dots, but I feel like they're going to give you a little more accuracy. but I don't like them because the rear sight is still digging into me. It's way better than the Trijicon HD sights overall in every aspect, I think. But other than being better than the HD sights, they're really, I don't think, better than the XS Big Dots, other than you're going to get a little more precision, and that's what I was looking for. So what I'm going to do is replace these. I wanted to do this video and kind of get my review on these iDot Pros before replacing them, because they're still on the gun. I'm about to remove them. And what I'm going to replace them with is the XS Standard Dot. So the XS Standard Dot is basically the exact same size as your Ameriglo iDot, Pro iDot here. So you're going to have the same precision, but I'll have that nice low rear sight here that makes it so it's easier to get a quick target acquisition. Sorry, I'm doing this one-handed, so a second here. But you can get a focus on there. You can see that the sight difference in size is pretty significant. It's going to probably be, I don't know, like twice as big almost. So, you know, you're going to have a lot more precision there. The only downside would be in a very high stress situation, which, I mean, really the XS Big Dots are designed for. When you're trying to focus on that target that you're shooting at, it's going to be hard to pick up that front sight as quick. Whereas the XS Big Dots, it's kind of hard to miss. Even if you're not focused in on your front sight, you can still pick it up in your peripheral if you're focused in on your target. So I think that this is where I'm going to be with for a long time. I think this is what I'm going to stay with. I really do like the XS sights, and I love the XS Big Dots, but I was feeling that I was really lacking in some bit of precision, and I felt like, you know, if I got a different style sight, I could get more of that precision back. And as I got better at shooting, I realized that that big front sight, you know, is not really that necessary at close range, and it's at the longer range that you want your sight picture to be used and precise. And if you focus in a small sight at a longer range, it's going to give you that precision you want, and you're going to make better hits quicker at range. Whereas this one's quicker at close range, which you kind of don't need, because once you get good enough, you become pretty instinctual. Your grip and everything, you get it down to where when you draw, you're pretty much on that target anyway. So I kind of feel like these are going to be the way to go. I will do a review on these when I get them mounted up and all that. But as far as the Ameriglo iDot sight, I think they're great. I'm not going to knock them. I do think that they're better than the Trijicon HDs, though. So if you're comparing those two and you want to know which one to get, I would say this one. The two dots are going to give you that great quick center line, and that's going to be what you're really going to be looking for and what you're going to really want. So I think these are great sights, but for me, doing appendix carry, it's enough discomfort that I want to switch them out, because the XS Big Dot sights are just so comfortable for appendix carry. Plus, I've gotten really good with them. They're really quick. I really like the XS Big Dot sights, quick picture, and they've been really accurate for me, even with the large dot. So I think that that's the way I'm going to go. They're really hard to beat. But if you buy these sights, you want to buy this style, then I would say go with this one as a second choice. I mean, I've tried a lot of different sights, and this I think is an excellent sight. It's quick, it's pretty accurate. So good option if you don't like the XS Big Dots.